Not that song.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
episode 1000 something 743 Hey, welcome to Mike's Daily Podcast, and I'm your host, Mike Matthews, broadcasting from Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcaster Valley, the last place on Earth. 1766, yes.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
The last show was called Ham, and this show will be called Chicken. I don't know. I eat a lot of ham.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
How ironic. I called the last show Ham, and then I ate a lot of it at a potluck party I was invited to, and I did sit down and eat this honey-baked ham with that amazing glaze, and then my intestines got put into a phase, a haze, a craze, a staze.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
A status of badness. Ham does not agree with me. It's not really food, is it? It comes from a
Mike's
cow, right?
Daily
One of those
Podcast.
cows with a snoot.
Yeah!
I think so. Maybe. So what a wonderful, fun weekend it was. 1766. I'm your host, Joe Rogan. No, it's Mike Matthews. Yeah, so I was on a radio station over the weekend, just a little guest appearance, and I think it was fun. Noon to 6 I was on a Saturday afternoon. I think that's good. You know, you need to be on the airwaves from time to time. Of course, I'm on the internet airwaves here on this show, and I know you appreciate that. And as I go to my Facebook, I noticed that nothing ever... Oh, it was Matt Jason's birthday. Yay for that. Matt Jason is a very nice guy. I don't think he's ever been on the podcast, though, because he is a busy guy. He's a travel agent. He's a young guy who discovered the travel industry. Yes, people still use travel agents to book trips. And the people that work in travel industries are usually the happiest people on the planet, even though they don't get paid an extraordinary amount. He apparently gets to go fly wherever he wants and gets put up in wonderful hotels for free. And that to me sounds like a good...
And here's today's podcast picture.
A good job. Perhaps one that you would want. You know, so I found out a year ago, I was in Monterey. I took my dog down, Basil the Boxer, and there he is right now. This is the only podcast with Basil the Boxer. If he was Tony Basil the Boxer, he'd be singing, "Oh, Mickey, you're so fine." But he's not. So don't think that he is. And I think we'll take a picture from where I went to the pier in Monterey, and it was very nice, right on the water there, and it was such a sunny, clear day. Monterey in the winter is amazing. Monterey and Carmel, so clear. December, just the most amazing weather that day. So I think we'll go with that, shall we? I think so. Maybe this one of these cool little doodad plants, succulent plants, and you're looking out at the marina in near Cannery Row, Monterey. It's the pier. So Monterey, for those of you who are outside of California, it is very close to the Bay Area. You're still about an hour and a half drive south to get there, and it is very close, though, to Carmel. You're just a short, maybe half hour at the most drive. And you've got these beautiful sights of this bay, these big rocks. Usually you see sea lions or sea otters. And the water's cold. You don't want to go in the water, but people kayak, and it's nice. And it's just ideal place. Now, I would go down there to see... I know this is going to be odd for some of you. Some of you are going to have a problem with this. That's fine. But I would go down and see my ex-wife. She had started a new family, a new life in Monterey after we divorced, several years after we divorced. And, well, I'd go down and see how she was. And I got to know her family pretty well, her new family. She had a daughter, and so I'd bring my dog Basil the Boxer down because I wouldn't have ever gotten Basil the Boxer if it wasn't for my ex-wife. So I have her to thank for that. And we go down there, and it was a fun time. But I will tell you, it was nice. They moved out of Monterey and moved down to Los Angeles. I'm not going to go down to LA. It's too difficult to get down there. That's like an 8-hour drive, and I'm not going to go. I don't like Los Angeles. I'm sorry. I don't. And I don't think I'm going to go all the way down to see them. It's just, I don't have the time now. I've got this new job. But I keep in touch with them, and so that's important. But here's the thing. So this morning I'm driving into work, and I'm listening to a couple things. One of them being this book called, there was a movie out called Surviving Kissing, Dating Goodbye. There was a book apparently in 1997 called Kissing, Dating Goodbye. I don't know if that's the exact title, but it was part of the whole purity movement. We had this movement in the late 90s that was all about women should only date in order to get married. They should only go out with men, and they would have these purity rings. They should only date men only if they're going to get married to them, and not date around. So that's why it said kissing goodbye to dating. And this guy wrote it, and apparently what drove the sales of this book was this guy. He was this young 20-something who was really good looking and totally Christian, and all those Christian girls were like, oh my God, Michael W. Smith and this guy. This guy was the big thing, and they were just drooling over him, and kind of like the whole reason why, what was that book? Twilight, the vampire thing. Just some people, they think I can only consume Christian products, and that's fine. You know, you consume what you want, but still, it turns out that even the author of this book, this young, good-looking guy who's now in his 40s, he says, I don't know. And in fact, he actually told his publisher to stop printing the book. He's probably made so much money off of it anyway. But he said, you know what? You have to, and he said this on NPR, he said, you have to find, you can't put these, there's already so many weird pressures in the dating world, and all you really need to stick to is just, be careful. Be careful out there. But he was putting all this other extra stuff on it that if you don't do this, then you're not dating right. If you don't do that, you shouldn't be dating, and just put unnecessary pressure. So this movie called Surviving, the name of that book, I forget. They actually, these people, some say the book helped them, and others are messed up my life. It messed up my life, and I rue the day that book came out and that I had to read it because my parents made me read it or whatever it was. Or I thought that the guy was good looking, so I went to read it. So that was a very interesting article. It makes you question authors. Here's a 20-something writing a book about what you should do in life. What's his background? What's his credentials? What did he have? All he was a good looking guy that was, I guess, a devout Christian at the time. He got married, had a beautiful wife. Everybody wanted to be, they had babies. Everybody wanted to be him. All the people that were following him. So it's just, if you're following somebody because you're attracted to them, just question that. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley. That's all I'm saying. There's someone that I work with who, she says, she always brags about how the first time she ever did a 30-second commercial, she did it in one take. And though that is amazing, you need not repeat that to me every single time you see me. I don't need to know that every single time. Oh, Mike, guess what? When I first got into radio, I recorded a commercial all the way through without it. First time. Okay, good. Look who's here. Wait. Is that who's here today? I guess so. Okay. Hi, Mike. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How y'all doing outside of cafe? I brought my horse, Nellie. Hi, Nellie. Yeah, we had a picture of a horse on the last show, podcast picture. Which, by the way, all those podcast pictures, are at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com, as well as on Instagram. And look who else is here.
Disgruntled fiddle player, tell you what.
What?
I didn't expect you to come to me so soon.
Sorry. Okay. Well, there you are.
Thanks.
And
Sorry.
what I really enjoyed about the Friday show that I produced, the morning show guy had on a comedian from San Francisco, and this comedian, he's been around a long time. He made jokes about bicyclists in San Francisco and how they just take over. And I don't even drive in San Francisco. I know that mess. I know how bicyclists are. Even in Podcaster Valley on Saturday, I was driving and there was a bicyclist hogging up the road. And I'm like, all right, I'll just, I guess I was in a hurry to get where I am, but I don't want this guy to die, so I'm just going to be careful. There is some craziness. You give a bike to someone. And then, of course, what really worries me is homeless people on bikes. Just because, a lot of people that are homeless have mental issues. There are things going on. And the last thing they should have is access to a vehicle that makes them weave in and out of traffic and get into the... they're going to hurt themselves, hurt other people. It's just not good. I just think they should walk. Just walk. Just don't walk too fast because you might hit somebody. And, don't run. Homeless people shouldn't run either. No, now I don't know. My theory is completely unraveling. Okay, look who else is here. That's pouring us some root beer that we much need today as we wrap up Cafe Anyway and Mike's Daily Podcast.
Oh, Mike, I make the delicious root beer. How's to right now, aboard?
Thank you. Oh, this is so good. This root beer. All right. That's it. Hey, careful of these emails that you get. Somebody sent me an email that told me, hey, I guessed your password. It's blah, 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 blah. It printed the it put it in the subject line. Thankfully, the web server I had put it right into spam immediately. But jeez, they are coming at you with all kinds of... Now that's going to make you... I would still never ever click on that. But dang, that's just crazy. Just all kinds of crazy email scams. And just... You know what? If you end up in spam, I'm sorry, but there's just so many scary things out there. If you were trying to send me an email and you ended up in spam, I just delete the spammers because even looking at them can be very dangerous. All right, just with that final thought, and don't be a porch pirate. Don't steal your neighbor's stuff. Be good to your neighbor. Love your neighbor as yourself. But apparently they're doing the porch pirate sting raids in some cities where they put out a fake package and then they watch until somebody comes along and steals. That's a stakeout that I wouldn't want to be on. That seems like a lot of wrong use of the police people's time, don't you think? Well, at any rate, they could put like a camera on it, or there's something to that. I don't know if you put someone there watching all day. What do you think? 336MM Daily, that's the number here at Cafe Anyway, 336MM Daily. Enjoy your week, enjoy your Monday. Thanks for listening. Oh, next show it'll be the wonderful Mata Rutabaga Valentino and Bison Bentley.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Email Mike now at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!